Have you ever had that feeling? You know the one? You're hitting all your targets, your reviews are great, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. But then, when promotion time rolls around, your name just isn't on the list. It is so frustrating, right? Well, today, we are going to unpack exactly why that happens, and more importantly, what you can actually do about it. Okay, let's get into it.
It's a question that can drive you crazy. You're a rock star, an expert in your role, but your career feels like it's stuck in first gear. You watch other people move up the ladder, and you're just left there thinking, what am I missing here? Well, here's the honest truth. Being amazing at your current job is almost never enough to get you to the next one.
So, here's our game plan. We're going to start with something called the promotion paradox. Then we'll break down the three massive barriers that are probably holding you back: the invisibility gap, the relationship gap, and the skills gap. And you'll want to stick around for the end because we're going to wrap up with a super practical 90-day action plan that you can start using like today.
Okay, let's kick things off with this big idea, the promotion paradox. This is really the core of it all. It means that the very skills and behaviors that made you a star in your current role are often completely different from the ones you need to get to the next level. You've probably heard it before. What got you here won't get you there.
You've probably seen this happen in real life. It's called the Peter Principle. A company takes its best software developer, a total genius at writing code, and promotes them to manager. But the skills it takes to manage a team of developers have nothing to do with writing code. And if that person doesn't learn those new skills, they get stuck. They've been promoted right to the point where they're no longer effective. It's a classic trap.
And sometimes these barriers have nothing to do with your individual skills. There's this concept of a glass ceiling, which points to these invisible, systemic hurdles inside an organization. We're talking about the unwritten rules, the unconscious biases that can stop really qualified people from moving up, no matter how hard they work.
All right, let's dive into the first of our three big barriers. And honestly, once you get this one, it's a total game changer. It's the invisibility gap. The main idea is simple. If you do amazing work, but no one sees it, then for the purpose of getting promoted, it basically never happened. So here's the deal. Those big promotion decisions, they're being made in meetings you're not invited to by leaders who might only have a fuzzy idea of what you do day to day. If those key decision makers don't see the impact and the value of what you're doing, you're pretty much invisible when it matters most. So, how do you know if you're stuck in the invisibility gap? Just look at this list. Do any of these sound a little too familiar? That last one is really tricky, by the way. Being called indispensable feels like a compliment, right? But what it often means is, we can't imagine this team functioning without you. So we're not going to promote you out of it. Ouch. Okay, moving on to our second barrier, which builds right on top of the first one. This is the relationship gap. Because if visibility is about what people see, this is all about who sees it. And crucially, who is willing to speak up for you. Just think about it. When your name comes up in one of those promotion meetings, you need allies. You need people fighting for you. A sponsor isn't just a mentor, they're a senior leader who will put their own reputation on the line to champion you. Without those champions, your work has to do all the talking. And a lot of the time, it's just not loud enough. So, does this sound like you? A lot of us were told to just keep our heads down, do good work, and avoid office politics. But listen, understanding who holds influence and building allies across the company, that's not about being manipulative. It's about making sure your great work gets the support and recognition it deserves. And that brings us to our third and final barrier, the skills gap. This goes right back to that Peter Principle we talked about. You've mastered the skills for your current job, no doubt, but have you started building the skills for the job you actually want? This quote just says it all, doesn't it? Your technical skills, your expertise, those are your hard skills. That's what got you in the door. But leadership roles, they're almost all about soft skills. How you communicate, how you influence people, how you think strategically. That's what gets you promoted. So what exactly are these next-level skills? It's really about a fundamental shift. It's moving from reporting what you did to communicating with executive presence. It's moving from just checking off a task list to showing you can think strategically. And a huge one, it's moving from doing everything yourself to delegating and influencing others to get results. It's the shift from being a doer to being a leader. Okay, we have identified the problems. Now, for the most important part, the solution. Because it's not enough to just know about these gaps, right? You have to actively work to close them. So let's walk through a step-by-step, 90-day plan to turn all these ideas into real-world career momentum. Before we jump into the plan itself, I want to show you the thinking behind it. This little table is your secret weapon. First, you name the gap. Be specific. Decision makers don't know my work. Then, you have to be honest with yourself about why it exists and what you're doing or not doing to contribute to it. Only then can you figure out the specific changes you need to make. It's a really simple but powerful way to get focused. So here it is, the 90-day sprint. We've broken it down month by month so it's not overwhelming. Month 1 is all about building a solid foundation, understanding where you really stand. Month 2 is focused on building your network. And month 3 is showtime. It's all about demonstrating that you're ready for that next step. So in your first 30 days, your mission is clarity and a few quick wins. Go ask for honest feedback. Get clear on your biggest gaps. Then, take action. Put your hand up for that project that everyone's going to be watching. And don't just send a status update. Share a strategic insight that shows you're thinking about the bigger picture. Now, month 2 is all about closing that relationship gap. You have to be intentional here. Get on people's calendars, find leaders in other departments, and just have a conversation. Look for someone whose career you admire and ask them for advice. And start changing how you talk about your work. You didn't finish the report. You delivered the analysis that opens up a new market. See the difference? And now we're in the home stretch, month 3. This is where you shift from talking about it to being about it. Don't just show up to the planning meeting, volunteer to lead it. Find an opportunity to present your work to senior leaders. Show you can develop other people by taking someone under your wing. And then, after doing all this work, you walk into your manager's office with confidence and ask to discuss your promotion timeline. Look, if you take only one thing away from our time together today, please let it be this. So many of us fall into the trap of thinking the answer is just to work harder, to put in more hours doing our current job. But the real secret is to work strategically on the things that actually matter for the next job. And that's the question I really want to leave you with. Take a good, hard look at how you spend your time each week. Are you just heads down executing today's tasks? Or are you actively building your visibility, your network, and your leadership skills for tomorrow? Because the answer to that question is what will truly define the next chapter of your career.